Hi everyone, Railman28 here and welcome back to the channel. Now, before we ring the bell and I say welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Railman28, you know what, scratch that. Ring the bell please. Thank you. Now, here's an update guys. I have a bit of a cold, so that means I can't go to the gym tomorrow because I don't want to infect anyone, and also I can't go to King's Cross to see Braunton or the Black Five. But I will see the Black Five eventually. Don't you guys worry about that. So I'm going to stay home for the weekend and rest up. Hopefully this cold should be gone by the week, by the beginning of the week. And that way, I'll still be fit and well to go and see EWE. Now that's the thing I like to come on to, really. And that is EWE. Now I've been going out of focus with WWE and AEW at the moment. I'm focused on EWE, Elite Wrestling Entertainment UK, at the Bedford in Balham. Now, couple of things I want to point out. I will wrestle for EWE, and I will join the company. Probably help out with shows. And I am willing to come and volunteer, helping out with A Night to Remember. If Buff Broadside's willing to let me do it. Because I want to help him and Charlie Biggs and Terrence Thatcher with this situation. I like to come into the ring, speak to the audience, introduce myself as British Steam Train, making my debut. Not early, not wrestling debut, but I like to help the commissioner out, probably as his assistant. Now, a couple of things I want to point out. Now, for the past few weeks, we've been wanting Arcadius, the War Beast Arcadius, the EWE Heavyweight Champion of the world, to face Lewis Basham, the Law Lewis Basham. Now, sorry, that was a dog. Now, we want both Arcadius and Basham to face off with each other in the ring. But Buff Broadside made a good decision not to accept that. To me, that was probably the right decision to make. And replace Arcadius with Roy Johnson to face Basham. Because everyone wants to see that, yeah. But it's still a cliffhanger at the moment. But I've seen Arcadius' videos, many of them. He does good videos, he really does. Big shout out to the man. He's the greatest wrestler of all time, honestly. The greatest EWE superstar of all time. Arcadius, the War Beast Arcadius. Now, I did want to point out, now if you've all seen on Instagram and Facebook that video of both Basham and Arcadius brawling in that office, in the headquarters of EWE. Now, you know, in my mind, that shouldn't have happened, really. But the question is, how did it happen, though? I first thought that both Arcadius and Basham were negotiating probably the next event for the match, their match. And Basham was disagreeing on something. They were both arguing. He slammed the clipboard in front of Arcadius and bang, that's what kicked off the brawl. But then it hit me. Something drew me back to the beginning of the scene. So I actually looked closely and said, hang on, that's not Arcadius' hairstyle. The hairstyle was different. It was over the shoulders, and I thought, that's a woman in that office. Now, Basham was probably arguing with that woman about the contract, and he would said, just sign a damn contract, you stupid woman. That's probably what he said, and then slammed it in front of her. She yelped, and possibly Arcadius heard that. And another thing, the office door was shut. So how could there possibly be a office invasion when there's no clear video of the door being kicked open, of the office door being kicked open, and Arcadius rescuing a damsel in distress? Possibly that could have happened. She yelped. She probably screamed, yelped. Arcadius heard that and went to drag Balham out of there, saying, "That's enough." That's probably he would have done. He would have said, "That's enough, Balham. She doesn't want to talk to you. Now get out." It's possibly that, and he had the nerve to press charges for the assault on himself. Now that incident, probably in the story, Balham could have caused that himself, brought it on himself. But everyone's entitled to what they want to believe anyway. But in my view, that's how it happened, I guess, and that's how the brawl kicked off. But someone possibly might have got injured during that brawl. Now, I saw someone try to restrain Arcadius and say, "Come on, Arcadius, that's enough now. You've done it. You've rescued that woman. Now, come on, chill it out, mate." And then Arcadius said no, and then he just swung him out of the way. Just threw him out of the way. And he probably landed somewhere by force. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know what's happening, guys. But I want to say a big shout out to Buff Broadside, Charlie Biggs, and Terrence Thatcher for running EWE. Now, I want to give you guys a hand at night to remember, because I remember rightly, I brought a couple of people down to an event, and we didn't know some of the wrestlers inside them. This was Alexander Roth, and the other guy just like hit one of our guys, had a beer in his hand, his beer got spilt. And thanks to Buff Broadside for getting another beer for us, courtesy of EWE. I want to give something back, guys. I still owe you that. I want to give something back. I want to help you guys out. You've helped us. Now it's our turn to return a favour. Generate's turn to return a favour. I want to come and help, guys. I really want to come and help at night to remember. So, I will be there with Generate, but I like to help run the show. Like help, be part of the show or something. So, I like to wait till the show starts, and I like to see Buff Broadside get in the ring, announce that they're going to address what's happening now. They're going to address the incident at, I like to see them, they're going to say, they're going to address the incident, what happened at the office. That's why they'll have the big screen up so all of us can watch the footage. And he says, "But I'm going to need some help. So I'm going to ask one of you guys," and I know one guy in the audience who's done a YouTube video on this, and he's sitting right there. Terry Bartlett, or should I say, British Steam Train, come and help us. Play Rule Britannia for him. And then you'll hear the that sort of music. That's what I like to have as Rule Britannia as my entrance theme. Like British Bulldog, but I like some Steam Train sound effects as well. Now, I'm finding it hard to source a few sound effects for that, and but I will do eventually. Sorry. Now, also there's a couple of matches coming up in EWE at the Bedford in Balham. There's the Somalian Warrior Yaya versus William Hudson Moore, Alexander Moore, W.H. Moore. Well, actually, Wham for short. That's good, actually. Wham after the band. That's nice. Now, I wished Yaya luck on Instagram when he posted the video. When he said he's going to face Moore, when he's going to face Wham at the Bedford. Now, Wham tried his best to not face him at all. But actually, I would suggest to Wham, don't try and get that match changed. Now, I said go and get him, Yaya. And then Wham had the nerve to reply to me and say, Terry Bartlett, he laughed at me and says, "You're as delusional as Yaya, man." I went, "Really?" I did not hesitate to reply to him in a promo. So, "Really? I'm delusional? Is that what you think?" And I then I'll turn around and say, "Let British Steam Train tell you this. It doesn't matter what you think. You just like to put other people down who are beneath you. I'll be there to watch and learn at the same time. Not only to watch Yaya beat Wham senseless, but also I'll be learning a few tips as well. And if Wham wants me in that ring, when he comes out, he's going to have to grab a microphone and say, I want British Steam Train in this ring. I want him as the referee." Possibly. I don't mind being a referee. I don't mind being that. I don't mind being a special referee for that match. So, I don't mind that. That'd be something I wouldn't mind doing. Being a volunteer ref. So, I don't mind that at all. And yeah, that's what. And I said, if you want me in that ring, you know where to look. I'll be sitting my usual spot where I usually sit when I go to EWE, at ringside, watching and drinking my drink at the same time. And if Wham wants me in there, all he has to do is come up with the microphone and says, "You, get in this ring. I want a word with you." And then if he wants the match to be changed, like, Yaya can still face him. But if he wants both of me and Yaya and him to have a triple threat match, I don't think so. I'm not going to face Yaya. I wouldn't do that. But I wouldn't mind if Wham was put in a handicap match. Me and Yaya would definitely face Wham, and I wouldn't mind having a taste of beating Wham senseless. I wouldn't mind doing the shh and the chop. I wouldn't mind doing that. Doing a bit of Ric Flair. I don't mind doing that. But if I'm gonna let anyone pin Wham, it'll be Yaya. I'll let him do it because it's his match. It's his victory. So yeah, that would be fantastic if I had some like experience. That would be nice. A handicap match between myself. A handicap match. That would be nice for Wham to be in a handicap match facing me and Yaya to see if he could beat both of us. And we'll say, can you beat both of us? And no doubt Buff Broadside and Terrence Thatcher and Charlie Biggs will say, "Oh, I love that idea." Because I know a member of the audience did go into the ring before and possibly was trained before that. And possibly I'll be examined by the medics after the match as well to make sure I'm not but roughed up or anything like that. Or have a concussion. But it's fine, it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind. First match for me, my first opponent, Wham. Because he was on the list of my first opponents anyway. As British Steam Train. The other two people I've got on my list of opponents is the Law, Lewis Basham. He's on my list. And Theodore Powers. Those three are on my list. Probably a few more people, but we'll wait and see. Now, Requiem, my favourite match happened to be Xander versus Theodore Powers, because this was actually funny, guys. You'll laugh at this one. Some of you were there, and I'm not going to tell some of you were there. Now, when it was a Halloween competition, see who has the best costume, and Theodore Powers was going around to see who has the best costume. I didn't have a costume. I said, "Choo choo, mate." That was funny. And he said, "Who you dressed up at? Who are you supposed to be then?" And then Xander, and I said to Xander, "There's no anyone in Halloween costume. No one's in costume, but except one. One woman was in a costume." And he said, "Come into the ring. Congratulations, you won the competition." And the prize for him, ordered to please him, he got a chair, put it in the ring, he sat down, says, "Give me a lap dance." And honestly, that was highly inappropriate, to be honest. If it was part of the storyline, don't worry about it. But instead of the woman giving him the lap dance, Xander was giving him the lap dance, and oh god, this made me laugh so much. And then Theodore had his eyes closed, and then and Xander was just dancing and dancing until Theodore woke up. Xander would have gone, "Hello, darling," bang, knocked him out of his chair. That was my favourite funny comedy match of all time. Honestly, that was a good match. That was my first favourite match. My favourite first match in EWE for the first half. No doubt about it. My second favourite match, well, sort of second match. My favourite second match happened to be Ricardo Borg versus Fabiano. But obviously, that match got interrupted by a new superstar called Twisted, a clown. Now you got to have a clown villain, haven't you? Like the Joker. And Twisted was one of them. He came in, kicked Ricardo Borg in the face, knocking him unconscious, giving Fabiano a chance to pin him 1, 2, 3. That was clearly not. That's bad sportsmanship. Not giving someone the honour of getting up. Ricardo almost had Fabiano, almost had him. But then Fabiano had to go and laugh in his face. And honestly, to be honest, I did not like that. I felt sorry for Ricardo Borg, the breadwinner, who wrestles for bread to keep Chester fed. That's why I've got a duck off for. Who I've got Mini Scots, who I've named Mini Scotsman, but actually he's earned his name Mini G. He's downstairs at the moment having a rest, but he will be at Night to Remember. And I might squeak it in front of Theodore, as long as he doesn't grab it and kill him like he did with Chester. But he'll be staying with me at all times. He'll be in my pocket sometime. But I'll make sure his head's poking out so he can have a look, so he can see the match. And he and Chester will be together. So I'll call Chester his dad. My little Mini G. Chester is Mini G's dad. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, so I like Ricardo Borg. My third favourite final match was Arcadius versus Phantos. Then at the end, Balham came out to show his hand out of respect. Now, Arcadius, as he stated in the previous video, like an idiot, he fell for it, and yet again, because he was showing his hand to offer the same respect like he was doing. But yet again, Balham had to attack him from behind and said, "I respect you, doesn't mean that I like you." Honestly, that was plain rude. You could at least let Arcadius walk out the ring. Then you would have respect. Simple as that. That would have been over and done with. But obviously, I said to Arcadius, DTA, don't trust anybody. When he said, "He got me," don't trust anyone, Arcadius. That's what I said. And he looked at me and went, yeah, I have a point. Yeah, that was a point I made there. So that means I will be there at Night to Remember, but I like to get in that ring, get on that microphone, and talk to Arcadius and the management team. So I want to save Arcadius. I want to save him. And say, look, Arcadius was doing what he thought was right. Saving that woman from Balham's wrath. Honestly, that's what he was doing. I love EWE. And I love to help out as much as I can. So every month I will come in, help out, run the show as usual, and Generate gets to come in as well. The charity gets to come and watch the show, and I'll watch the show with them. I will pay for my drinks and my ticket as always, as long as I get to help run the show. But I like the character work and the storyline work that they do in that. It's all about telling stories of characters and the company as well. Now I found a new wrestling industry in Wallington, BHW, ran by Buff Broadside. I love Buff, love that man. And if I got an invitation to go there for free, just to observe it on the 2nd of December, the Fairy Tale of Wallington, I find that interesting. I'll go there, have a look round. I'll probably get to see the same wrestlers there who fought in EWE. But yeah, I would love that very much. So big shout out to Terrence Thatcher, Charlie Biggs, and Buff Broadside. Buffalicious. Don't worry guys, I've got your back. Terry Bartlett, or should I say British Steam Train, has got your back. And I'm willing to come in that ring on that night, get a microphone, and I'll talk. Like if one of you hands me the microphone to have my say, then I would. The one person I'll call out first to the ring will be Arcadius. Then show him the footage. Then I'll need to get his side of the story. That's what I would have done. I would have said, Arcadius, I'd like to get your side. What happened? And if Basham comes out to interrupt, I'd say, shut it, Basham. No one wants to hear you yet. We're going to hear both sides of the story. Then we'll have our take on it. Then Basham will come in, sit down. Arcadius will sit down. I say, but get this, I don't want to see any more brawls in here. Many people have had enough seeing brawls like that. No one deserves to see that. We're not having another incident what happened in the office. And then Basham had the nerve to go and press charges against hang on, it's my phone. No. And Basham had the nerve to press charges on Arcadius for the assault and do legal action against EWE. I think that might be a storyline. I'm not too sure if it's real or not, but I would say to Basham, drop those charges, drop your legal lawsuit, because you're not a proper lawyer. Because I've looked at most law firms and I don't see your name in them. I don't see it. Unless he runs his own law firm, I don't know. But anyway. I mean, I respect Basham. I mean, he's got potential. Yes, he has. But obviously, it's time for him to be a change to a babyface and let him face Wham. When he said that's his client. But I've got a funny feeling. Either Wham is going to turn on Basham or Basham's going to turn on him. Eventually it's going to end in a brawl, possibly. So, there you go. But I would say I know what Basham's afraid of. He's afraid of losing his undefeated streak. That's what he's afraid of. Worried that Arcadius is going to break that streak. Break it. And I would love to see Arcadius break that streak. So Arcadius, big shout out to you. You're the best. Similar like your brother Bullet was the best also. You're both the best. And I hope Bullet comes back to save his brother. And he knows Basham like anyone else. He knows Basham like anyone else does. So, there you have it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, on the wrestling update. And I know I've got this bit of a cold on me, so that means I can't go anywhere this week and the weekend. I'm going to have a nice rest, play some video games or something. And also, I like to do some work from home, really. Some work from home, like help do some testing for Train Simulator or something. See what my take is on certain engines. But never mind, that'll probably never happen anyway, so. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I will get better soon, don't worry. I know you all say get well soon, which I will do. And I will be at night to remember. And Ricardo Borg, I'll be there with Mini G. So bring Chester. I'll look after Chester for you. And if you want me in that ring as a special referee, I wouldn't mind reffing some matches either. So I need some exercise in me as well. So, but I like to go there early so I can know how to be a ref. I like to do some early training to be a referee. If Buff would like to send me out an invitation for me to come be a referee. See you guys at the Bedford, guys. Also, ring the bell, please. Thank you for watching another episode of Wrestling with Railman28. See you guys very soon.